To the Contro-Verse, Malden's bestest open mic, and I'm not saying that because I am in any way involved in it. Super happy tonight to have a feature artist. We have returning to the Contro-Verse stage, Jeremiah Walton? I didn't have a thing to write down. Anyway, it's going to be messy, guys. I am under-caffeinated. I am sleep-deprived. And we are going to have a wonderful time. We got a great crowd tonight, and we have a surprise because we are going to be doing a prompt night. Nobody has been warned. Nobody has anything ready. The prompt is jumping spiders. So take a moment, scribble some things down. Do what you will with that. As always, I would like to welcome to the stage our beloved sound guy and the reason that all of this is here, Jeff Taylor. Come on up.
All right, so once I get this poem here, then you'll hear me read the poem that I've got here. I've got one planned. I swear that I've got a plan here. This poem is Left a Hole, once I find it in my notebook. So here we go. There we go. One of these. All right, so we have Left a Hole. And this poem is for Kurt Cobain, but I'm also want to perform it tonight for my friend Mark Prestorone, who had passed away a number of years ago. When I commemorated the anniversary of Kurt Cobain's suicide with a Facebook post, Sean commented with a story about how Ben & Jerry's gave out free ice cream cones on Jerry Garcia's death anniversary, jump-starting a conversation about the commodification of dead celebrities with a story ending with no one in line knew any Dead songs. The meta-bullshittery of the whole occurrence has me wondering if that means Purdue Pharma will be giving out free opiates on the streets of Seattle. Which pharma brand will commemorate the junk-sick street kid who died before his album came out? Will they hire a field team? Will doctors promise to overprescribe? Will a radio station offer the first caller free therapy? Are we all spinning the dial looking for a rush? On the road home from Aberdeen, all our arms taste like scars. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. First up, on our open mic from the audience, not somebody who is helping to produce this, please, everybody, give a very warm welcome to Emily.
How is everybody doing tonight? That's good. So, this is a poem called Dear Reader. A little backstory is when I was in college, I worked at an archive in Lowell for the Kerouac collection. It was a great experience, but during that time too, I developed a lot of existential dread on people reading my journals when I die. And this poem's about that. It's called Breaking the Fourth Wall in My Personal Journal. Most people know it as Dear Reader. Dear Reader, you know, my ghost feels stripped when you dissect these entries under the microscope. Dear Reader, I'm worried that the ink isn't as permanent as they say it is. Dear Reader, I'm worried it is permanent. Dear Reader, I'm worried that my words will be worthy enough to be preserved in your ivory tower. Dear Reader, I'm afraid I'll never reach as high as the heroes I pinned to my wall. Dear Reader, are my feet too small to fit in the shoes of my predecessors? Dear Reader, is my flared breath enough to make Prometheus's torture worth it? Dear Reader, I burnt my notebooks to control my legacy. Dear Reader, I traded ink for graphite to make every blemish temporary. Dear Reader, I built borders in my skull, and now my brain is clogged. Dear Reader, now when I need to scream, nothing comes out. Dear Reader, I decided to pick up the pen again and I'm starting over. Dear Reader, I'm tired. Dear Reader, I'm tired. Dear Reader, I'm tired. Dear Reader, guess what? I said, I'm fucking tired, and that's the only confession you'll get out of me. Dear Reader, I'm tired of looking at the last place I lost myself. Dear Reader, please let me stop caring about what the future has to say of me. Dear Reader, can I please stop caring about what I write? Dear Reader, when was the last time I took a shit? Dear Reader, I am so sorry you're reading this. Dear Reader, these cramps make me wonder if my uterus is gonna plop out and wave goodbye to me as it rolls out the door. Dear Reader, I am on that day in my cycle where I just want to fuck everything. Dear Reader, I am on that day in my cycle where I just want to kill everything. Dear Reader, I lied when I said I was sorry earlier. Dear Reader, how much the world is underwater right now? And do you think a raft will save you? Dear Reader, are you skimming through this part because you're ashamed to share the same thoughts? Or are you afraid of your body too? Dear Reader, never look at me as your hero. Dear Reader, if I am ever worthy enough to reach your ivory tower, shatter the rose-tinted glasses and swallow down every thorn. Dear Reader, I sat in your chair once, and I wasted my time crafting gods out of humanity. Dear Reader, when you look at this, don't mangle the naked lines and shape them into wisdom. Dear Reader, let go of the strings controlling legacy and undress your caution tape-choked brain. Dear Reader, know your thoughts will ignore the eviction notice you hand them. Dear Reader, know your thoughts are a time bomb waiting for the explosion to set them free. Dear Reader, when your mind erupts, learn to dance the body electric through the shock. Move with your two left feet until you stumble into freedom, and finally know what it's like to stain the handprints of humility onto the page.
Yeah, put it together. That was awesome. So next up, we're going to have our feature, Jeremiah Walton. You have to follow that, yes. We're putting you to the test. So Jeremiah Walton is the founder of Bards on the Rocks, the northernmost outpost of the Renaissance, and Poems You Can Mosh To. He's featured at New York City Poetry Festival, Oakland's Beast Crawl, Lit Crawl San Francisco, and at dive bars and street corners across America. He founded and managed the now-defunct Nostrovia Press and traveling bookstore. Books and Shovels. His most recent chapbook, Hellbound Hungry, is out from Bonemachine Inc. Please give a round of applause for Jeremiah Walton.
Make some noise for Jeff and Anna bringing us all together tonight, putting our dumb Bard asses on TV. What's up, Boston? This ain't censored. You're gonna have to rock with it. I hope none of y'all are Nancy. Oh, the camera's over there. Hope none of y'all are Nancy Reagan fucking fans. Just say no. Just say yes, baby. With the way you play bass, you could probably make some magic with me. And I'm not talking about music. Did I shut this off? I don't need it anyway. When I say throw, y'all say go. Throw. Go. Throw. Go. Nancy Reagan 2024, baby. In this world, presidents are selected based on their ability to give head. So just say yes. Yes. No orgasm. I wouldn't gentrify. Yes. Y'all did way better than usual. Folks try to repeat the gentrifying the orgasm line back typically. That's fucking beautiful. Let's stay on the same page together because Donald's watching. And he had some backdoor deals in Arkansas, and I don't want to get caught up in that shit. No orgasm, I wouldn't gentrify. You yes. Now this is where I... The balls clapping my chin are all American. And that pussy put stars on the flag when her thighs press my ears so hard. The origins of poetry ring my blood a god. Her moans congeal. You've seen how hard I go with my second mouth. Ronald, my little ducky, patron saint of the money shot. And our church is 24/7. Y'all told me I can say whatever I want on this station. There's a hole in the confessional booth. Founding fathers painted cherub on the ceiling. And speaking of daddy, Washington would be disgusted by this cast of flaccid, Alzheimer-infused mouth lumps currently sitting in my seat. Soccer mom America, I'm just like you. I am sick of politicians who don't pull out or leave policy trickling down working class ass crack and wallet crack, distributing crack. Whoops! Freudian slip. Oceans are rising. Rent, it's rising. My trousers. Yeah, what they doing? Rising. Landlords are struggling. There's fentanyl in the cum. Laziness in the sheets. When I am president, I will spit, I will swallow, I will dress Ronald however you hunger. I reduce big dick energy to a pleading, gargling mess. Check the press release. That's my dear devoted hubby. You are looking at me with hesitancy. It gets worse from here. I'm just giving you a trigger warning. Check the press release. That's my dear devoted hubby dressed in red latex and tied to our bed, ready to be passed pen and policy, and those cute little horns on his head. Y'all thought 9/11 sucked? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, look at all of you. A bunch of 9/11 fans in here. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, you're about to feel the rush of a fifth plane in your blood, Jeff, when I'm done with your ass tonight. America, I put my mouth to the war machine and suck money out bones buried in Afghanistan. America, my mouth is a megaphone for us, the righteous. And when enemies I've revealed to you jam you past my tonsils so deep you speak only my words. America, I will suck the history right out of you until our textbooks sparkle cleaner than bleach. The last time I performed that poem, the organizer at the mic, which was not geared to poetry, called me a fucking commie. And then I had to leave. I'm going back there tomorrow. I have to practice in front of audiences that don't like poetry. You know, it really gets you ready to rumble. All right, so I have a tone problem with the set I put together for tonight. Y'all want to hear a love poem? Y'all been in... Honestly, you know, if I was in a high power position back in the fucking 80s and Nancy Reagan approached me. Oh, yeah, talking to the mic so the broadcast can... Something about the desire to fuck Nancy Reagan? I wasn't following my own rift. But I am going to switch. We're going to switch gears into a love poem, dear audience. Dear listener. Any of y'all been in a toxic relationship, like deeply codependent, messy, gross, and kind of found it spicy? Kept you coming back to it? This is called I Love You Like... How old's your dog? What kind of dog you got, dude? What's Boston Terrier? How long has this toxic codependency been going on? What, does he like steal your food? Do you eat out of the dog bowl? What's going on here? Thank God, I'm curious. You got me riled up. This is called I Love You Like an Alcoholic. Buried in this last-ditch effort to make this shitty town home is the guarantee we won't. Shining. Like we are the top note of a double-barrel poem aimed at the moon who wants to be left alone, but we need a target we can't reach. Our howls hurled like bottles bursting on blurred iron rails, chugging God's country. Besides leaving, what is there to say about towns like this one? Your mother's throat is full of firecrackers. Narcan was too slow to break into my father's prayer. We haven't been to Arizona, but the cotton candy smolder of Sonoran sunset strikes matches in your eyes when you look into mine. Enough spark to burn life in the gray eyes of the Pacific. Enough spark to burn a road through Virginia fields rushing wet and brown. Enough breath to make every lantern in New Orleans roar like my blood when you show the world what they want to be but are too scared to dance like that. To get mud on their knees, chasing rumors of a life well lived, a song for the ride, a goodbye tuned to the key of rail yard ghosts, painting homemade fireworks and boxcars with markers and banjos, guiding our hearts back to our chests like you're doing tonight, teaching me Midwest Coast swing. Soft curl of your right hand spins this spacesuit mess of gravel and whiskey around your lead. Our double left-footed years flood these dancing parts illegible, if not for the projector composting in the rear view. I pull it out every now and then and flick through these few slides I've managed to save. Denver, Kansas City, Tucson. My memory isn't what it used to be. Erie was the first I love you to. Another possibility, Tampa, on the beach. The one we conquered for the nudists. You danced. The fire blushed. We never did make it to the bay. San Francisco is not what's promised, but there's enough fog to be anything on Mission Street. Since I got out here, I've stopped drinking a dozen times. It never sticks, unlike you. I can't tell what's real or a dream. And if that's the great pity of a life, I'm happy with my sins. I'll wash my own feet. Codependency! The spice to life. So in 2022, I got involved with writing again. I dropped out of all of this. I was involved in a cult in 2019 with Damian Rucci and a weird poetry scene and a residency program in rural Missouri. That shit was a mess, and I treated it like a meal ticket. I was fucking sick of poetry. And I fell off, crash landed in New Hampshire, long story short, deleted everything I had written up until that point, and was like, if I give a damn about this, I will continue to write. Well, surprise, surprise, I did, and I'm here tonight. So this poem is... Wait! Can you get me the hat? Brief pause. The moon got involved. We'll put that on later. There's a specific poem for that hat. And so I deleted everything I'd written over the course of like 12, 14 years and trust-filled myself into the poems that you're currently hearing now over the course of the next year. So I kind of wrote something reflecting on that. This is called Make Something Beautiful and Delete It. I've performed in empty bars and velvet theaters packed with punks and queens and people out on bail or going to jail or on the run from cruel gods that garnish ambition, neon, and ugly. I've stomped death to death in squats where tomorrow is canceled and the rear view is fog. Mics have slipped my sweaty grip as a pink polka dot triceratops beak breathes sticky in my ear, whispers, "Babe, that was not a microdose." I heard all of the audience's thoughts falling like rain. I collected them in a bucket, analyzed my reflection, unreliable and ready. Blowing bubbles the surface rejects, and surprise, surprise, I bombed, and bombed again until the I-70 corridor resembled the moon, who has petitioned poets for a vacation from being subject or metaphor. Instead of practicing, I cursed gravity for playing favorites. Tried to rewind the bombshells whole, watched them soar, screwing backwards through blue, returning to factories where shame is assembled. In the forest of my heart, I've been so lost, I had to reinvent my blood to find my feet. It's hard to forgive jewelry cut out of you for revealing itself when you review the years and see how much you had and denied. In bonfire glow, I've danced the sweet snap of banjo strings tuned to muddy knee slaps and the heathen howl of gas station dogs prowling saguaro shadows wriggling at the edge of our singing. Like every Sonoran star is alive and we are alive and nothing is in our way. Rides break down, thumbs go ignored, duct tape souls peel with wastelands we place stake in. But y'all, we gonna make it to a new state of mind where wholeness is not extraditable. The end of the road is the road. So let's go. Under the need for applause, past billboards and teeth whitener. Let's haiku battle over lazy pool games and sing awful, sing terrible, sing because you're human and art is fundamental. Let's go. Hungry American night cracked open like a dark egg, purple lightning cross-stitching guiltless across Kansas fields, rushing rear view as we barrel into Denver and the tangled years of our lives. See, guys, you can fuck up and make it look like it was intentional. I skipped like 3 lines. All right, guys. I wanted to share some shit that was new, that was raw. And recently, I was really locked in on Frank O'Hara's A Coke With You. I might have just fucked up that title. Doesn't really matter. I wrote it after it. So this is called I'd Rather Be Watching Netflix With You. I'd rather be home on the couch watching Netflix with you than wandering the Louvre. Yo, whoever corrects me on that pronunciation's a fucking classist. There wasn't a French option in my school. The Sign, the cobbled city of light, Parisian architects of pleasure smoke long cigarettes and drink unpronounceable wine and throw winks over slender shoulders that turn Miss Liberty red, and yet I'd rather be at home watching Netflix with you than munching fresh-pressed corn tortillas, pico, queso fresco, carne asada, pastel Oaxaca, mezcal sunsets, all of it pale as a potato chip. Under the couch, us, under the gray glow of the next episode, We're wrapped in the world's fuzziest blanket. Its singed edges smell like that night we fell asleep in my small bed in a small room in a small town, divided by developers, united by the desire to leave. Shout out to Manchester, New Hampshire. Outside is white, and spring is a pomegranate seed's ghost trapped in a glacier. Inside forgot to snub the candles. The fire alarm screams. I leap out of bed. A foot of flames on my desk. Poems pinned to the wall catch orange. I'd rather be throwing away that charred birch candle mount in this tired mill city than have one of those burned pages be the key to packed theaters, adoring fans, a tour bus Neil Cassidy would give up sex to drive. I'd rather delete the apps with you. Lounge in sunshine grass, the buzz of beetles, turning pages, you excited, reciting self-published Audre Lorde you found buried in the basement of your school's library, and right now, I'd rather struggle to transform your absence into art than never having set the house on fire. All right, guys, I got 2 more for y'all tonight, maybe 3 pending on time. I got 2 more for y'all tonight, maybe 3 pending on time. If you just start throwing shit at me, I'll stop. I take commands good in certain contexts. Yeah, it's just going to get messier as we go, though. Like, we're going to start diving into the weird notes that aren't meant to make public appearances on live air. I got smut. All right. So I'm sure a lot of us trying to make ends meet feel pretty fucking small under late stage everything. And this poem was written in 2023, but the shit that it describes is from 2022 when I was fairly isolated in Manchester. I had no social group, no friends, no community. Was broke. And spent most of my time wandering alone among the streets because I worked the overnight, so I did not overlap with most people's other days. And that afforded me to see a lot of the grimier, darker sides of Manchester. And when you look at the overwhelming odds that so many of us face attempting to try to create worthwhile community and sustain ourselves simultaneously, all you can say is fuck. So this poem is titled Fuck. All the wrinkled clerks at Market Basket who once believed they were going to run this town or own a home, one day hit the ball and watch it fly over bleachers they will never afford a seat in. In the checkout line, ahead of me in an offspring's tee, another millennial pays and steps off into a world we were both raising knowing we would never conquer. Out there, all the junkies on Manchester Avenue are men we barely dodged becoming. Out there, outside the shelter, police guard construction machinery, scooping tents and sleeping bags and baby photos into a dump truck piloted by someone just doing their job. And the cops just doing their jobs when they chased a kid down Lake Ave, tased, tackled, pinned him to asphalt, pressed his head down and swung, and strip searched him in the red and blue mall dark, and the court reporters, and judge, and bailiff, all people doing their jobs when the force dispense deemed reasonable. We're just doing our jobs. I stumble over their lines. Stolen, sniffed, lines stolen to sniff. And I keep waking up believing we can build something better than this. We can build something better than this tinfoil mane wrapped roar, no louder than lighter dragged across our exist plan. And fuck. Fuckity fuck. I want to go down swinging. I want to go down swinging. To say, fuck the vagabond character I nurtured, searching for something other than loss or God to cling to. And fuck the pantheon of overdoses I worshipped confusing drugs for poetry. And say, fuck the cops, and do more than mean it. But I'm a poet, just doing my job. Oh, I did the thing I make memes mocking poets for. I lost my place in the poem. But I'm a poet, just doing my job. Pointing at the moon. You have to turn your own head, and that'll be $15 even. The clerk smiles, hands me a plastic bag, hummus, carrots, bread. I hand her the money and step out the door, marveling at the utility of the word fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Y'all say it with me.
Fuck!
Again.
Fuck!
Now say fuck cops.
Fuck cops!
Now say fuck saviors.
Fuck saviors!
Now say, I have no idea where the moon is, but this is the part of the poem where I point at it here. You gotta turn your own heads, y'all. Oh, everybody, make some noise for the moon! My favorite crescent-shaped object in the world is Jeff Taylor. All right, y'all. So I could do two more. One more? Perfect. I really feel like we all ended up kind of, I hope I brought you on a little journey. I hope you all kind of feel like a crew now. Yeah. This last poem is for all of us. It's called The Cult of Dionysus. Christ hasn't been born yet. So we steal grapes from imperial vineyards. Raw red bursts of jewelry sticky between our toes, fermented and poured in wood cups that we raise above the stars. 2,000 years later, still ain't seen water turned into wine. But have transmuted desire to die into the heathen howls of gas station dogs, stealing blunt wraps and Four Locos on the Lower East Side. The clerk yells with his boss, but joins us in the park, where our misfit parade is a cover band for Dionysus. Romeo raps, boom bap, Nico's ancient phone static slaps, and Genesee pulls her girl so close the moon blushes, and Michael swings his hips and slips into the bushes, his pupils bigger than New York and his laugh bigger than that. August's burning curls catch streetlight and look like something God's voice arrives through, but none of us have heard the big man talk. So we throw poems into campfires and listen. We only understand the language of power because profit doesn't recognize ours. So we salute dinero y amor and sing until the stars are listening and lean so close our throats reach into their burning ears and they can read our smoke. Us, their descendants, lovers of life, against the machinery of debt, the landlords of progress, cops, and all the desperate writhings of another Rome wheezing sparks after another round of barbarians become tax collectors and priests. Y'all, we will still be here, lest the graves dance on you. All right, y'all, that was my time. That was my time, Boston. If you want another dose, come up to Bards on the Rocks for the season 2 finale this Wednesday. Oh, wait.
Fuck the moon, fuck the moon, fuck the moon, fuck the moon, fuck the moon. Give a big round of applause for Jeremiah Walton. What's that? Here comes Ethan. Yeah, give me a second.
Check 1, 2, thank you. All right, that's great. 5 to 1, 1 to 5. Who here knows they're alive? If you can dig this, listen to the sound of purple, baby, and get ready for the hammer to fall. Yeah, it appears to be a long, long time before the dawn. I'm a farmer. We want the world. Love me 2, 3, 4 times. What? Department of Youth. We've got the power. Figure 4 suplex pile driver Jimmy Hart. That's rock and roll. Hard times, baby. Cream will rise to the top. Ooh, yeah, Royal Albert Hall, Madison Square Garden, Spectrum, Liverpool, Sports Arena, Stampede, NWA, AWA, WWF. Those are the cats, baby. Do you know what I'm talking about? What have we done to the earth? If you can hang, Tommy, can you hear me? Can you see the real me? Look at all the people here tonight. Count Massimo, Handsome Dick Manitoba, The Rock, and Wrestling Connection. Nothing means nothing. Nothing means nothing. Nothing means nothing. It's like I told you, only the lonely can play. Silver-studded, saber-toothed dream. Bolin likes to rock. Mercury, Mars, rock and roll guitars. Steel cage, mankind. Folding chair, folding table. Sherry Wendell, Lita Sable. The bottom line, knee lift to the midsection, choke slam, steel cage, the living legend. You can shut down the show, but baby, you ain't never gonna kill rock and roll. You see, I was tearing down VIP lounges before you were even born. Do you remember rock and roll radio? I mean, do you really remember rock and roll radio? Crusher, King of the Ring, science gone too far. Where have all the flowers gone? I ate them. Get down, get with it, naughty old styling, profiling, limousine riding. Well, let me tell you something. You want this belt? Well, you can't have it. I need a shot of rhythm and blues. You've ruled the world long enough, Sid Vicious. Only sport that matters. Heartbeat, it's a love beat. It's a kilt. The champ is here. Come out and play. What? Whoa! The people's elbow. We could blow this place apart if we wanted to. What's the deal with airline peanuts? Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit glue sniffing. It doesn't matter what you think. Nobody does crazy better than us. Turn on, tune in, tap out.
Everybody give it up for Ethan. As a reminder, at the beginning of this show, we did give everybody a prompt, which I don't know if anybody's actually written anything. I scribbled some nonsense. I hope yours is better than mine. Good. I'm hearing some yeses. That's awesome. Next up on the open mic, we have Kirsten. Do your regular one. We'll do that one. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me on the move? Hello? Oh, okay. Hello. Okay, now you can hear me. Okay, cool. How are all of you? This has been a really groovy show. Lots of art I've never seen before. Very cool. Father's Day is coming up, and so I didn't have a dad in my life, and all the dad jokes I ever learned were told to me by men who wanted to fuck me. So this poem is inspired by that experience. It's called Dad Jokes. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Mentor me, Daddy. Tell me what to do. How you want me to bend, twist, snap, break for you. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish. In prayer's pose, in profound earnest, set for me my own boundaries, for I am not my master. Then violate them, please, sir. How do you know when the clock is still hungry? It goes back for seconds. Do you tempt to meet my gaze while I'm down swallowing everything you say? I am hungry to make you feel like the person we both hallucinate. Let me drool from your life's marrow. Teach me all you can, the work, the effort, the vigor. I'll validate you as man. What did the blanket say when he fell off the bed? Oh, sheet. Your story inside me, your thumbprint, my cheek. My boss told me to have a good day today, so I went home. Home, a cold and kingless throne, no booted step echoing from marble stone. No, these hallowed halls are hollow. Help me brim them with touch, with moan, with scream, with reach and dream and warmth. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. When will I learn caution or restraint? I'm so unsure, so burn the witch and stone the saint. Scarlet letters, sacramental steer. Grab my horns, slit my throat. Bleed me till my blood runs clear. Do this. Exercise me before I turn your patronage to mantle's urn, for history hath no memory like a child scorned. I like telling dad jokes. Sometimes he laughs. The telephone wire I ask you to garrote around my neck returns calls that never had a place to receive them. Still, I call you daddy. And yes, you are not my father, but you will still abandon me.
Thank you. I feel kind of guilty laughing at the dad jokes in that one, but like they are genuinely funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. Up next on the open mic, we have the man who makes sure that the cameras are actually pointed vaguely where they're supposed to be. Everybody, please give it up for the very long-suffering Chris Hickey.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Ethan. This is Prompt Delicious right here. Jumping Spiders, was it? Yeah. All right. Go. All right, well, bear with me. No, nope, maybe. Jumping spiders jumping from the ladle. Magazine perusing, arousal confusing, third time spinning the dreidel. There once was commitment while fencing equipment which a modular codpiece adorns. Failure to lunch dining on conch. Kirk killed himself king of the Gorns. Eating fried chicken with eye patch snake Pliskin, a great way to end a long day. Rejoinders that sting are some people's thing, no matter what they might try to say. Agnostic prowess, penitent redress, living from paycheck to paycheck. The evil men do harms me and you, leaving us stranded by shipwreck. Chicago devoutly, parting and pouting, slick choices under the sun. Divine is forgiveness, never knowing spitefulness, loving most those we should shun. Jumping Spiders.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for going along with my stupid prompt. I literally did not have one ready when we started here, so I hope everybody else has theirs ready. But first, on the regular open mic, we have Autym.
Okay, so I actually just published my very first book. If I could put things down, I can show you. It's called Oversharing, because I tend to do that a lot. Jesus. You can get it on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, also the Walton publisher website, but it's Autym, A-U-T-Y-M. Liberty. So I'm going to read one from that and then a shorter new one. Just one? Damn it. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to read one from the book. It's called Donald Street, and it's kind of heavy. I was so mad at you when I saw you standing there,
Bruises on your neck, shivering in a coat 6 sizes too big, fingers shaking while you held your cigarette as your eyes tried to send me a message I was too anxious to read. Because your 00 jeans hung off your 70-pound frame and your hair was so thin, your eyes were darker than I'd ever seen, and all I wanted was for you to get in the fucking car, to come back home, to go back with me and finally be safe, to break down with me in the driveway of the house you grew up in. I wanted to hit him harder than he hit you. I wanted his next high to kill him. I wanted him to overdose because he deserved it. And I was so goddamn mad at you when you told me about your overdose, how you died and came back, how the Narcan felt worse than death, like being thrown in an ice bath filled with needles. How you started carrying a note in your purse for your little sister in case you didn't get another chance to tell her how sorry you were for failing her. I was so mad because I thought any day I'd get the call, she's dead. I was so mad for the weeks following that night, so angry you didn't come with me. I wanted to drag you by your hair, to show you how stupid you were, to yell at you for stealing from the people who raised and cared for you while your parents were drugged out or in prison. And I wanted to scream at you for being like them when you swore you never would, for breaking all the pacts we made. I wanted you to see how broken you left me when you chose your dirty yellow drug over the family you've always known. And I just wanted to hold you and cry. 2 weeks after that night, I got the call. She came home. There's a lot of depressing stuff in this.
Hey, we're here for the heavy stuff too. Everybody get up a problem. All right. Who wants to hear this train wreck that I wrote? All right. This is Jumping Spiders. Trying to convince my husband that the little black dot on the wall is a good housemate to keep is harder than it should be. There is a difference between a phobia and a trauma, or is there? There's a part of the brain devoted to seeing snakes in everything. There are types of phobias that happen without precipitating incident. Lizards and bugs and snakes, high places, and the ocean. I can't look out at the ocean. And he lived happily on Marathon, out at the end of the world, through the hurricane, tethered in the air, flying through frog showers, over shark-infested waters, barracudas shadowing. He says he wants to free fall, while I can't stand too close to the edge. It's easy to think he's the courageous one, documented, fan-clubbed, convicted felon. Jumping spiders make no webs. Active hunting, social dancing, bouncing off and over, tiny landscapes incomprehensible to someone who lives at our scale. Healing is hard. Lizard brains aren't armed for dancing. Thank you, guys. I love this. I love how messy we are. I love everything. I love you all. So, quick raise a hand. Who actually has a spider poem they have not yet read that they would like to? I see 1, 2, 3 folks. Jeff, you are up first.
It's like a new spin on the safe space. We'll write poems about you. This is going out to Jeremiah Walton. It is inspired by his set, as I wrote it while I was listening to him read his set. And it is called Jumping Spiders, at least because that's the prompt. All right. Being in a toxic relationship with my dog has left me jumping spiders like I'm playing hopscotch with Indiana Jones. Being in a toxic relationship with my dog has me jumping spiders like everything is a class war. And I'm pressing my fingers into the chest of the COO until I grab his heart like there isn't just going to be another one of him tomorrow. Being in a toxic relationship with my dog has me jumping spiders. Like one of these days, he might pick up my shit off the sidewalk. There might be more of that to come. I think there will be, but that's where I'm at with it right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Everybody, please get up. Jeff actually struggles doing these like fast writes, so having him get one through and have it be so good, Jeff, you did amazing. Next up, I believe we have Emily with another jumping spider poem. Let's go.
I feel like I left out the jumping part of the jumping spider poem, but it's about spiders. Spiraling, spiraling, 8 legs to wrap around you, tie you to the web and swallow you whole, you are my prisoner.
All right. Next up, we have Kirsten.
Whoops. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is called Jumping Spiders because it's prompt. All right. Geoffroy, Jehoshaphat's, and jumping spiders. None of it means anything to you, but it can still make ice spike the base of your skull and freeze frame feature your own death behind your eyes. Jumping spiders and Jehovah Witnesses, pamphlets, porn, and penitentiary. Are you locked into Monday's chain gangs or gangbangs? And who decided that for you? Jumping spiders. I'll have to Google that.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody for playing along with our silly games. Thank you to the folks who came to listen. We really appreciate having an audience. Thank you so much to our feature, Jeremiah Walton. No matter how much you hate the moon, we still love you. You have nothing to apologize for, believe me. This has been the Contro-Verse. We do this every second and fourth Monday at in Malden. For some reason, they still let us do this, but I really hope that they continue to after tonight. It has been a beautiful mess. I'm so happy to have you all here, and we will continue doing this until such a time as they throw us out of the building or we no longer want to do it.